Hello everyone, this is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and today is Wednesday, May the 25th, 2022, and this is my Flosstube episode number 46. I would like to say hello and welcome to any and all new subscribers that I have. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to stop and see if I can enable you with something that I am stitching. And to my returning friends and subscribers, thank you so very much for always coming back and checking out what I am working on. I have had a semi-busy week. Actually, it's been a busy week, but I do have some stitching. Sorry, I've been trying not to deal with my eye. Um, but I do have some stitching to show, so we're going to just jump right in. I don't have any finishes this week, and I have no new starts also, so we're going to get right into the whips. And the first whip that I have is Floral Fairy. And this is what it looks like. It is by the Stitchy Princess. And I am stitching this on a 14 count verdigris agoric organic by Fortnite Fabrics, and I am using the conversion that I talked about last week. And I don't have a ending picture for it for last week, but here is where I am now. So last week I had, let me focus. Okay, there we go. Last week I had all of the greens done. This week I started in on all of the red fuchsia color flowers along the bottom of her dress. And this is where I have gotten to. I am halfway on the bodice of the skirt. And so I need to still fill in all of it looks like there's color in there, but that is just an illusion from the camera. I still need to fill in all of these circles. So I have a few more days in the month that I am going to work on it. I have gotten all of my days in on this piece, however, but I really love this piece. I worked on it on Sunday during the Garron group instead of working on my Blackbird Design stocking that I was working on. So I wanted to show you again. That is the halfway point, and so that's where I'm at. So now I'll be working on the other side of her skirt. So that's Floral Fairy. I really do enjoy stitching on that project. I was a little frustrated on Sunday, and so EJ just was like, why don't you work on your Floral Fairy? You love her. So I was like, yes, that is exactly what I'm going to work on. The next whip that I worked on for the week was American Spirit for the hashtag Patriotic Frenzy May Frenzy in conjunction with Stacy C Stitches. And here is where this is what the pattern will look like when I finish with it. And here is a picture of where it was when I last worked on it. And here is where I am now. So I was watching And I don't know if anyone else watches her, but I can link it below. I was watching Tiger Lily Designs on Flosstube, and I can link her below. And she was working on a project that was similar to this, and she had put in the threads that she was going to need to just go across. And she said it made it easier for her to just pick up the project and start working on it. I thought that was a fabulous idea. Something is reflecting here. I think it's, yeah. Sorry about that noise. It was my magnifier, so I wanted to make sure I put it down because the way the sun is coming into the window. So I actually did try this technique, and it worked out perfect with these other red and white bands that I put in. I also have started putting in more of the stars on the blue side, so that when I pick this project up again, I'll be able to just do some fill-in on it. But this little trick is really has really worked out well. I can just, because as it turns out, the stitches, they end up using up most of this thread. So that's where I am on American Spirit. I had initially thought that I was going to take this with me to StitchCon, but I don't think I will. I think I'm going to hold it and take it on my trip in July, since it's just back and forth, you know, stitching red and white, red and white, red and white. The next WIP that I worked on was a Stitch for Sweet Freedom. By Lindy Stitches. And this is my project for Juneteenth. And my goal is to have it finished by June the 19th. I don't know, it's going to be close. Here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where I am now. So I worked mainly in completing the flag. So the flag is all the way completed. And then I put in a few stitches here on the skirt, and now I am working on all of the embellishments on the skirt. Which are these. I'm doing that in an effort to be able to just, once I get all of these completed, I'll be able to just knock out going back and forth with the blue on the skirt. I still need to put in these 3 motifs here. So I will be adding this and working on it every day from here on out, because I want to have it done by June the 19th. And so that is where I am on it. The flag, oh, I still need to put in, so I'm going to, on the days of the week, I'm going to put in all the little details that are still missing. Her eyes, nose, and mouth, and the gold. These are to be reminiscences of gold buttons. So I'm going to put those stitches in there, and then just keep working my way down the skirt. But that's where I'm at on it right now. And I'm pushing to make sure that I can get it completed on the 19th. I really, if I get all of these design stitches in, maybe like the top 2 sections of it, if I get that much in, this piece might end up going with me to StitchCon because I can work on filling in all of the blue. But I have to have those top two finished before I can even make that determination. Because I don't want to have to do a whole lot of counting on it at StitchCon. And now I see that I also am going to have to go back in and put in some of these white stitches because I just noticed like I'm missing these two white stitches right here, but that's small. And then maybe if I get the outlining done on these, I could work on filling those in also at StitchCon. So it's going to be right down to the wire on whether or not it goes with me or not, but you'll know that before I go, because StitchCon, I'm planning on doing a video before that Wednesday, and then StitchCon starts on Thursday. So I'll be able to give you some kind of idea on what I'm actually taking. The next WIP that I worked on this week was Stitch Card Set D. And you remember, this is what it looks like. And I have these two blocks completed and was working on this block. And here is no, I don't have a picture of that. Somehow, I don't know what has happened with my picture taking. I thought I'd take the picture, but I don't know, it wasn't in there. And so this week I worked on the bee, and I am 95% complete. While the video is uploading tonight, I will be putting in his wings, and then I'll have the bee completed. And my plan is to do all of the outlining for the zinnia flower so that I can take this to StitchCon and maybe I can ring the bell. So that's where I am on this. I haven't given you any fabric. Well, because you know what? I don't think about it because I'm showing you the same. Seems like I'm just showing you the same things week after week after week. I'm stitching this on a 14 count Ada, which is vintage cloth by Holt in the color Breeze. And I'm using all of the called for DMCs. I should hashtag this to Zan's birthday sale also because it was a bee themed birthday sale, so I might do that also after I get the bee's wings on. These do really stitch up quite quickly. I could have had the bee's wings in and just totally, when I put it away after Friday, just didn't even think about putting the bee's wings on until just now. So I will get those added tonight while the video is saving and uploading. My next WIP that I worked on was Winter Quakers, and I did not, which I still have the rest of the year to work on it, but I am not meeting my WIPGO goals this month at all. Winter Quakers by Rosewood Manor, and this was my WIPGO number 8. And so I'm going to put it in really close. I am working in this area here. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where I am now. So I did get this snowflake completed. And there are a couple of more little like half motifs. Like this is on the first page and the rest of it is on the second page. And there is another piece right here that I need to put in, and then there's some of these backstitch snowflakes that I need to get in also. And with Monday being a holiday, I have some other things that I need to get taken care of before I leave to go to StitchCon, but I would like to be able to work on some of these smaller snowflakes. I don't want to let them get, I don't want to have like a whole bunch of them little tiny snowflakes to stitch at the end of this. So I want to have a complete page one completed. And so that is where I am on my winter Quakers. I am stitching that on a 14 count graceful gray witch-elk Ada, with the color conversion done by myself and Miss Susan at Keepsakes. It'll be the only one of the, so I have the winter Quaker, the spring, and the summer. And then I'll get the fall one to start in the autumn. Autumn Quaker, I'll get autumn Quaker too. So I'll have all four of them. And the unfortunate part is that winter Quaker will be the only one that I haven't stitched with the Valdanis. The spring I have the Valdanis for, and the summer was gifted to me. So I'll have the Valdanis for those, but it still looks beautiful. I love it. My next to last WIP that I have is Be Kind or Buzz Off. I like the buzz off part. And I don't have a picture of this either. But so far, I did get in both of the Z's, and I started on the B's wing up at the top. And so I will be putting a little bit more work into this. I'm going to see if I can make it fit in my acrostic somehow for the month of June. I love bees, and I try to do everything I can to protect them. Like in my yard, I grow pollinating, flowers that they will come to and pollinate and all of that. And so I really want to work on a bee themed project because I don't have any that I have stitched. So, and my last WIP is Stitch Every Day. I say it every week, Stitch Each Day, by Waxing Moon Designs. And here is a picture of where it was when I left off last week. And here is where it is now. So I took the scroll bars off so that I can pull it all the way down. So I have been working on putting in that big block where it says crazy. And this too will be one of those projects where if I can get in the crazy and the bottom half completed, then it will go to StitchCon to just be filled in. Like I could do all the fill in of this. And I love this green. It is called Paris Green. And it is so very variegate. Like it really is. And I know right now you can't even really tell that, but it is this, Gary, this would be a green for you, let me tell you. It's called Paris Green, and I love it. I love all of the colors on this chart. It's so bright, and even though, the theme is crazy and all of that, but I love all of the bright colors, so it'll be fun when I get this completed. As you can see, I should have centered it better, of course, but I love it. And so I just have the word away and some flowers to put at the bottom, and it will, all of the words. So once I get this part in, which I'll be working on, you know, I'm going to continue working on this past May 31st, so that I can finish, and so that I can take it to StitchCon and just do the fill-in work for it. I don't think it will go into the June acrostic, but I can definitely take it and get some good fill-in work done on it. So that is Stitch Every Day by Waxing Moon Designs. And those are all of my whips for this week. So I did get a lot of stitching in. You know, when you look at what you have during the week, you're like, am I really doing anything? But this actually shows me that I am putting stitches in projects. So I am going to move on to haul now. And I only have a little. I did receive my Rogue Stitching Fabric of the Month, and it is called Palomino. And I get a 28 count Lugana. It's actually a pink fabric, but of course it's not showing up pink. And so I was thinking that I could, yeah, it's not showing up pink, but it is. That I could use this fabric. I'm going to put the Valdanis on it for the spring Quaker or summer Quaker and see if those colors work with this fabric, because I think it will. So that was my fabric of the month from Rogue Stitching. And here's the information if you, I don't know where they are with the Fabric of the Month Club, but you can contact them and find out. They have a very nice club. It is several different fabric dyers. You don't get just one fabric dyer. There's several that you get. And so that's why I like that club a lot. And then there was a bag sale at Garron, totem bags, and I picked up two. I love their 6x9 bags, and so I got this one, and it has the little bees on the inside. And then I got this one with all the beautiful butterflies, and it has black and white black butterflies on white background. So thank you so very much, Ronnie. I love them. And that is all of my haul, if you can believe it. I am really working hard to hold all my little pennies back for StitchCon. They always have a good trunk show. Well, they did last year. That was my first one. But Miss Barbara always goes all out for events, and so I'm expecting nothing less this year. I was watching Primrose Cottage Stitches live stream last Thursday, and they mentioned that they were sending their trunk show, and so I was like, oh, okay, that's one trunk show that I know. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not, but I would assume that she wouldn't get on a live stream and say that if it weren't true. So I am going to go into my plans next. So we received the June Acrostic in the magazine monthly, and the theme for the month of June is flowers. And so the theme the theme chart, the theme is flowers. I'm going to work on flea market flowers for the month of June for the theme. I need to come up with what my goal is going to be. And then so far, I know that I am going to also work on, let me not say that like that. The acrostic is Floral, Floral. And I did put for one of the L's a stitch for Sweet Freedom, because the designer's name is Lindy Stitches. So I'm using one of the L's for Lindy Stitches so that I can really, and I put it on my sheet to finish it. Now, let me say this. If I get to the 19th and it's not finished, it's not the end of the world. I need to have it finished by the end of June at the very latest. My goal is the 19th. And that's what I'm going to shoot for. And then for the F, I will be stitching on Progressive Pride Flag. I started that last year for the month of June for Pride. And that is by MI Studio Creates. And that's all I have right now. So this weekend, I will actually be working on what my monthly acrostic will be for June. And with that being said, I also need to really focus on temperature butterflies, because I haven't put any stitches in it this week at all. And the month of June for the hashtag Garron Designer Focus is Plum Street Sampler. Yeah, Plum Street Sampler. Plum Street Samplers. Sample. Plum Street Sampler. Okay, I'm not going to keep going over that. And I know I have one chart, but it seems to me like I should have another chart also. So I'm going to look for the other chart. The chart that I know I have, I'm not really feeling it. It's a winter chart. And so I really don't want to stitch winter right now. So I'm going to see what happens. And then I'm waiting also on the numbers to be called by Jessie Marie for the WIPGO. And so those are my plans. I know they're all like futuristic. I am already thinking June, since this is the last Wednesday, because June the 1st is a Wednesday. I'm like, okay, I just need to get through the 31st with the projects that I have. So I'm going to just stitch on, stitch every day, stitch each day. I'm going to work on stitch each day so that I can take it to StitchCon to do the fill-in for the boxes. I'm also going to put some work in on, look, I better write this down. I'm also going to work on Stitch for Sweet Freedom, putting those motifs in so that I can fill in the skirt at StitchCon part of the time. And I am going to do the outlining on the stitch card set D so that I can possibly ring the bell ding at StitchCon. So I have notations next to all of these so that I'll remember what I just said next week, and put it on my calendar when I get ready to do that. So my next, I have an announcement. I would like to shout out to new floss tubers. The one floss tuber actually lives in the state of Ohio. She lives in the Cleveland area, and she is the 20-minute stitcher. She, and I'll let her tell you why she named herself that. But she has great projects. She has actually been stitching for quite a long time. She, you go away, you come back. And so please go check her out. She does stitch up some really good things, and she has a different way of stitching. So I'll put it out that way. And the second person is Lynette Peters. She is in Australia. She is part of our magazine monthly group and has been in the group since the beginning. She is also a cross stitch designer. And if you watch Carolyn C. Zook Stitch, you'll recognize one of the charts that Carolyn just finished not too long ago was Carolyn and her cats. And that was designed by Lynette. She is also a quilter. So I would like for you to go over and check her out, and tell her that I sent you her and the 20-minute stitcher. And so now I am going to give you the last of the mental health moments for this year. I don't know that it'll be the last for this year. I might try to throw in some mental health information occasionally throughout the rest of this year. In all of this, I would first be remiss if I did not say thank you to the following people on Instagram that have posted to the hashtag. I am so thankful that this year, and I would hope that in the years going forward, there'll be more and more people that will jump on the hashtag mental health care Sal, for us to continue to talk openly about mental health. The time for mental health to be not talked about or whispered about needs to come to an end, not just for today, but period. I believe that there is so much more help now than there were in years past. And because of the pandemic and all of the anxiety around that, companies are more open to having mental health be a part of their healthcare insurance. There are all kinds of different nonprofit organizations that are willing to help find you mental health care. But it has to start with you. You have to be the one that wants to get the help that you need to have. Again, it took me a long time to get to the place where I was okay to talk about my own mental health for various reasons. I didn't want people to think that I was crazy. But I wasn't crazy. I'm not crazy. I was depressed. Um, but people can use that also against you. And so I think that's also one of the reasons why people don't really want to talk about their feelings and their emotions, and because you can't always explain why you feel the way that you do. But that shouldn't stop you from getting the help that you need. So, with this last mental health moment, I urge you, if you are feeling down, if you have the blues, if you just, you know, can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, there are services out there to help you. One of the worst things that can happen is that you don't see your way out of it, and so you end it. Um, it's not, there's help. You can get help. Um, what also, with that being said, I want to talk about one other issue that I experienced, and I was a very so when I had my son, I was young. I was 18. Um, and I experienced, and I should have, looking back now, all these years later, he turned 34 in March. Looking back now, I should have reached out to a healthcare provider then. I went through postpartum depression very a lot. I mean, it was bad. Like, it was really, really bad, to the point where I almost gave my son up for adoption because I just thought I couldn't take care of him. That wasn't the case. I did end up pulling myself together, because 34 years ago, they didn't talk about postpartum depression. And then because I was 18, still in high school, I had not graduated from high school yet. I had a lot going on. And in retrospect now, I should have been seeing a counselor way back then. Um, because to be 18 with a newborn baby, still trying to graduate. Now, I was a senior in high school, but I was trying to graduate still. It was a whole lot. My life situation was very difficult. And so, if you know of a young mother that is having a difficult time, make sure you reach out to her. There are all kinds of different scenarios that people need help in. And I would urge you, if you don't say anything, then nothing good happens. We have to stop being afraid and of voicing what we see. You know, you can hear it in people's voice if you listen. You know whether or not they're having a good day. Um, so I would urge you, as a person that may be going through depression, or of someone, just reach out and try to get the help or find help that you need. It could be a matter of life or death. Um, I'm here to tell you, it could be a matter of life or death. And then you look at it and, why did that happen? Um, I was so shocked to hear about Naomi Judd, and it doesn't have to be. You can live, I, you know, you can live happily, um, if you get the help and take the help that you need. So I thank you all so very much. The following Instagram followers that did post to the hashtag Excited Floss Dragon, South Shore Stitcher, the 20-minute Stitcher, Glittery Dove Fairy, EJ Creates, KB.03, Athena X Stitches, Janet Jabber, and Janelle, I'm not sure if you've put your picture on the, but I do know you are stitching a piece, Coffee, Wine, and Stitching Time. So thank you all, ladies, for supporting the hashtag. Oh, I'm sorry, Props 3122, Lynn X Stitches Creates. All of these ladies have put photos on the hashtag mental health care Sal. And so if you are on Instagram, please go over and check out their design, their patterns that they are stitching. They are all doing such a wonderful job. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. If I did, I'll mention them again next week, because there might be more that will add their pictures later at the end of the month. So I thank you all for your time and your consideration with me on this issue. It is um, very, very close to my heart, and so I am going to end with that. I hope you all have a very great rest of your week. Happy Memorial Day to all of you. I don't know if Happy Memorial Day is a good term, because memorial means death. But I'll be stitching the American Spirit on Monday. And so that's what I'll be doing for Memorial Day, or working in my flower garden or something. So I hope you all have a very good rest of your week, and I will see you next month. Bye.